Hi everyone, welcome to our one. Welcome to our live session again. This is day 8, and so for the new people who are there, so first of all, I'll just like to introduce one more time for the new people, or on the for the people who does not watch this live and watch this later on. So we are doing a 75 days challenge where we solve 3 to 4 questions every single day, and so the aim of this 75 days challenge is within 75 days you will get consistency, you'll get much better at coding, and you will be able to see a real outcome within 75 days. So, and this is day 8, and I can see a lot of friendly names in the chat. Hi Pratik. Hi, I don't know, on your face gaming, is this your first day? Not sure. Hi Suresh. Hi Adarsh, Ashish, Gitesh, Adarsh Pandey, Vaibhav Singh Tomar. So new names as well. I'm happy for the new names. So good to know you are here. So before we start, customary uh, subscription related stuff or selling basically. So basically, if you are here, do subscribe to the channel and click on the like button. Comment down below what you want me to make video on next, or if you what kind of recorded videos do you want, or live sessions do you want, so that you can help me understand what kind of things help you get better at or succeed. And also join our Discord community. It's a very active community. Thanks to all of you who are part of it and generally help out each other succeed. So okay, hi Apurva, good to see you again. See, look, okay. So Apurva says, can you share the link to your soon of what is soon solution of jump game 2 problem. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll copy paste it in either in the Discord community, or I'll do it paste it on Pastebin or GitHub or somewhere, and I'll share it in the community. Do remind me if I forget to do that. So okay, guys, and I'll share it in. Okay, without any further delay, let's get started. How many of you were able to solve the questions today? Again, there is one thing. One of the problem statement. Let me tell you which one. Max area of island should not have been there, but if you have solved it, awesome. If you could not solve it, I'll take it, and that's okay. Pratik, Pratik has solved 3. Apurva has solved 4. So whoever was not able to solve max area, that's okay, because again it's a DFS problem. And one thing that I would like to say is, guys, I know it is happening, but over the weekend, like which is coming, hopefully I'll be able to sit and go through at least next 15 days of problem, and I will try to basically get reorder the question one more time. There can be little bit of errors and all human errors, basic human errors, but yeah. So Muthu has sold 4 4. Awesome job, Muthu. I am very happy. So why specifically? Because he has, like, I know him for last 3.5 months, and he has been trying to start coding, and today he's able to solve four out of 4 questions. I'm literally very happy because of that, and I hope I there is some part of the mentorship program and this entire 75 days series that helped you reach 4 out of 4, and I hope you continue doing that in future as well. Adish, that's okay if you take some help, that's okay, but like I always say, if you are taking help from anywhere, uh, try to solve that question again. Try to make a to-do list or revisit list, and try to solve that question again, so that your the concepts are rock solid. That's what is more important. So yeah. Okay, let's jump into it. Just give me one sec. Before we get started, there is just one small thing that I need to do. we are all set. So slideshow. I don't know what is going on. Okay. Shama, it is definitely motivating because I've seen him start and I've seen him grow. So definitely it's a very big motivation factor. So great job done. Okay, let's get started. So first question that we had is maximum area of cake. So let me go through the question first, and then probably we'll see how many of you were able to do it, and then probably we'll see the next part of it. So the problem statement says you have been given a cake, masa cake hai, like there's a cake, and there are cuts in the cake. Cuts horizontal hai and vertical hai. So we put like we made vertical and horizontal cuts in the cake, and what you need to return is the maximum area piece, the piece that has the maximum area. And how do you define area? Horizontal cut into vertical cut, that's the area. So for example, if this is the cake, let's assume the cake is rectangular like most of the cakes. So this is let's say this is the cake, and you make a vertical cut of 1 and 3, and then horizontal cut of 1, 2 and 4. So which piece would you like to pick up? I hope you are a you like cake. So I personally would go for 2 4, this cake with area 4. Right? This is the problem statement. So how many of you were able to solve it? And what was the time complexity that you solved it in? That is also important. Nice, good job, Pratik. Do mention your time complexity, guys. Nice, Rudraksh. And Apurva also solved it in ON. Okay. Muthul, M plus N. Yeah, effectively it's M plus N. Yes, that's correct. Nice. Good to see so many people have solved it. Great. So, for those who are not able to solve it, let's jump into it. First of all, let's see what is the brute force solution for this. So, the brute force solution is, so if you see in this image, I have one of this piece, like this is one of the horizontal cut, 0 1 wala, right? And what are the maximum pieces available? 0 1, like this first piece small, then this piece 1 to 3 wala, then sorry, this 4, right? So these are the pieces. Similarly here, 1, this, then this green piece plus this piece, 4 5, this piece and this piece, right? So these are the all possible pieces available. So what we can do in brute force is try to evaluate each and every piece, calculate area of each and every piece, and return the maximum area. As simple as that. So what will be the time complexity of brute force solution? What will be the time complexity of the brute force solution? Come on, guys. Correct. That's correct, Pratik. Okay. Seems like people are sleeping today. या फिर my internet is slow or YouTube is slow some reason. Adish, that's correct. Akash, again correct. So that's correct. Now Let's try to optimize this. The current brute force type has basically n square time complexity. Let's try to optimize this. Okay, now tell me one thing. What are the observation? Let's try to see the observation. That's how we get to the uh, optimization basically. So can I say that thickest, let's talk about one of the cuts, either horizontal or vertical. So the thickest cut will always be the part of the biggest piece. Can I say that? Is that a fair assumption? Ki no matter what, let's see it in the picture. No matter what, the thickest cut that I have horizontally, let's forget totally about vertical right now. So the thickest that I have horizontally will be the only candidate that I have. Can I say that? A quick yes and no, guys. And now, since I can do that, can I say exactly same for the vertical cut? Ki no matter what, the thickest vertical cut will always be part of my answer. So these are the only two observations that we need. So thickest horizontal and vertical. Horizontal and vertical cut will always be part of my observation. Let's see it in the image actually. You can say stole this image from the interview recipe. I don't know this website although. So let's see this in image here. If you see, this is my horizontal cut. And then this is my vertical cut. So if you see, thickest is always going to be part, right? That's all we need to do. Basically, we need to calculate. Can you guys, okay, just checking. Is it just Pratik or is it for everyone? Is there a problem in the life? I think Pratik, this is at your end only. Suresh, thanks for confirming. Okay, so I was saying thickest or horizontal and thickest vertical. That's all we need to do, right? So how do we calculate thickest or biggest? Basically, what we need to do is like let's see it in the code directly. So all we need to do is like h cut and v cut. We are given h cut and v cut. We just need to calculate the maximum between the two element. That's all we need to do. H v. We calculate h max, we calculate v max, we multiply them and give the answer. As simple as that. So is this clear? Like, is there anyone who does not understand this? Guys, if you're not able to understand this, just let me know because I want you guys to be able to at least understand the observations. That is very important. Is it clear, guys? If it is, I think although you have already answered, what is the time complexity of this? I'll not waste time on this part, the time complexity part. The time complexity of the solution is O of n plus m. If this is n or m, n plus m. So this is the time complexity of the solution. Right? Is there anyone who does not understand it? Any part of it? Like we can go to that part again. That will not be a problem. Then why do you say this is n log n? I Where does the log n part come? Why is it log n according to you? This is 10 to power 9 plus 7. We have this is given in the question, Akash. We have to take modulus of 10 to power into per 9 plus 7. If you see return modulo this, so that's part of it. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, we need to sort it as well. We cannot assume that this is sorted. So this is actually n log n. If it had been sorted, then it would have been n plus m. So sorry for that. Even I missed it in hurry. So this is actually n plus n log n. That's correct. Ashish and Akash Anup, this is correct. And whoever actually did this in NON, I don't know how did you guys do it. Can you please write it in the comments? I'll definitely check it out. Or did you miss it as well in hurry of writing or answering? Okay. In the meantime, moving on, basically, moving on to the second part. So moving to the second question, duplicate in the array. Apurva, Pratik, these guys also made the same mistake. So I know it happens in rush. Don't do that in an interview. So don't do that in an interview. That's what is important. If you do it here, that's okay, but don't do that in an interview. Silly mistakes can lead to failures in an interview. Okay. Now the second question: find the duplicates in an array. I'll again iterate the question and then we'll see how many of you were able to. In the meantime, just write how many of you were able to do it in ON with constant extra space, without any extra space. So the question is, you have been given an array of integers and those integers are in the range 1 to n. All of the numbers in the array are in the range 1 to n, and each integer can appear either once or twice. So a number can comes once or twice. You have to return all the integers. And one more point is, it is given that it's not necessary that only one number is coming twice. Any number of integers can come twice. So you have to return all the integers that comes twice. As simple as that. So let's see who was able to solve it. Shama, that's good. Pratik, good. Suryansh, Suryansh, good. Akash, both Akash, what type of Akash? Great, good job. Apurva, good. Smile, range given. We made the size array, that size array. So, Smile, if you actually made an array, that will basically mean that you took an extra space. And the question itself states you must write an algorithm that runs in linear time with no extra space. It is only allowed to have a constant extra space. Okay, so that's the point. Now, Adarsh, great job. Let's see. First of all, brute force with extra space. Obviously, it's easy. Maintain a map and basically maintain a map of integer to count, which is element to count, and return all the element with count greater than one. As simple as that. Right? What is the time and space complexity of this? What is the time and space complexity of this, guys? Correct. N. Correct. So let's try to optimize this. So the first observation that we have is numbers are from 1 to n. ये तो question में दिया हुआ है. Can we use this somehow? This is one point. And using this, can we modify the array in a way that we can utilize that to calculate repetitive number? How can you do that? How will you do it? How did you guys do it? Whoever has done it, Pratik, Apurva, Akash, those, all of you, like, how did you do it? Find max. Okay. Cyclic sort. Okay. Apurva, that's correct. Cyclic sort. How did you use cyclic sort? Okay. Akash said he used extra space. Akash and Oop, how did you do it? For every I checked. Pratik, how does that make it n? Like, what exactly did you do? Did you do for I equals to 1 to n, check how many 1 exists, 2 exists, 3 exists, up to n exists, then it becomes n square. Ritu, that's correct. That's what I do, and Akash has a different approach. So, and Akash is saying 1 to n, say it. I think he'll put that number right in that place. So moving on, so what I personally do, and I use this approach in a lot of places. Whenever there is a number between 1 to n, you can use this observation, or you can use this approach in literally lot of questions. So make note of it and use it if you don't know. So what you can do is, since the numbers are from 1 to n, you can mark a minus ai minus ith index negative. Now if that number is negative, it means it has been repeated. If the number is positive, that means it has not been repeated, right? So that's all you need to do. So for example, let's take this example here. So 4 3 2 7 8 2 3 1. So 4 minus 1 3, you go and mark 7 as negative 7. Then 3, you mark 2 as negative 2. When you come to minus 2, you do like, you what you do is you check for 2, like absolute of that value. So you mark minus 3. Then for 7, you go and mark 3 as minus 3. Then for 8, minus 1. 2 is repeated. Now if you go to a of 2, which is a of 1, that is already negative. If that number is already negative, it means you are repeating that number, right? So that is how you can use it. Is it clear? Like, does it make sense for those who did not know the approach? For those who already knew the approach, obviously it was very easy. But for those who did not know the approach, is it clear to you guys? So in the meantime, I'll take one question. Sir, जो mostly companies के online assessment में आते हैं, वो question करवा दीजिए. So Sakshi, the question that I've picked in this 75 days are very, very highly asked questions. They get asked in all sort of interviews, in all sort of companies. It's not just small startups or Google or Facebook. It get asked in literally any company you can think of. I don't have a premium lead code premium right now. If I had, I would have shown you the number of companies that has asked this in last 6 months, 12 months. So these all questions are like highly asked questions. Okay, going back to my flow. So what I've been doing is, okay, I'll try to explain it from the code. What we do is, first of all, we take the number, we take the absolute of the number, because this number might have been marked as negative. If the number of that, if nums of that number x minus 1 is already negative, what does it mean? इसका मतलब ये है कि वो already आ चुका है. Right? Akash, is it clear? Okay, let me share my other screen for a minute. Can you guys see the updated screen? Let's take the example 4327 8231. So what we do here is we go, we traverse this array. We are here right now. Okay, so a of I can, a of I is 4 right now, right? So we go to a of a of I minus 1. Why minus 1? Because this number are from 1 to n and indexes in array are 0 based. So we go to this. What is this in fourth case? Here. And we mark it as negative. ये negative कर दिया. Okay. Now for 3, we'll go and mark 2 as negative 2. For 2, first of all, you cannot take directly 4. What you need to do is take abs of a of I, because this number might have already been visited, and if it is negative, then it will go out of bound, right? So we take absolute value. So for this, absolute value is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So we do minus 3. Now we go to 7. For 7, what will be the index? This one. 3 will become minus 3. Then for 8, this will become minus 1. For 2, 2 is repeated. How will we know it? 2 minus 1 is 1. And this number is already negative. If the number is already negative after going to that index, if that number is already negative, it means this is a repeated number. Because initially all the number are positive, and the number will become negative when you mark it as negative, which is like you have already visited the array, or you have already visited the index. So you add 2 to that result. So you add 2 to the result. Then 3. Again, 3, you go to 2. It is already negative. You add 3 to the result. 1, 4, negative 4. This is not part of it. So you go and mark it. So that's it. So this becomes your result. Is this clear? Is it clear now? Soumya, you had this doubt. Is it clear now? Sakshi, Soumya, is it clear to you? Akash? Is there anyone who does not understand it yet? Okay, awesome. So we'll go back to the presentation. So this is the code. Code is basically as simple as like what you do is just go iterate, just forget about the upper part. Iterate. If the number x, you take absolute because this might have already been negative. X minus 1 is already negative. You add it to result. Continue. You don't do anything. Otherwise, you just mark current element as negative and move on. As simple as that. Is it clear? So the time complexity, as we already discussed, is O of n, and space, we are not using any extra space, so space becomes constant, O1, right? Any doubt, guys, before we move to the third question? I'll give it 1 minute to settle, and then I'll move to the third question. Okay. So since there is no doubt, let me go to the third question in that case. So the question is you have to find k pairs in an array, k diff pairs in an array. What does it mean? It means you have been given an array of integers and you have to find all the pairs such that the difference between the value is k. That's it. This is the question. So, how many of you were able to solve it? Especially the new people uh, who have been attending this from day one. How many of you were not able to solve it? Okay, and I'll answer Weber's question, but we are storing the result. So, Weber, when you store result, this is not an auxiliary space. You have to return that somewhere, right? It's not an additional space that you use. That is why it is not an extra space. So, Soumya, what do you mean by saying we are using extra space in the previous question? If you still meant the same thing, like we are using result array, you have to return result. That is the expectation out of the pointer. So, you have to do it. Okay, moving to the third question, k-diff pair. Now again, okay. So in the meantime, there is one question. There are few things. Well, I'll take the questions at the last. Like, let's just complete these, and Apurva, you can ask your question at the last. And I think there was few things like Sakshi said, DP pada dijiye. Sakshi, please. I'll cover this at the last. If I forget, just remind me. So, okay. Now, coming to this. So, KDIF. So, यार first of all, पहले तो brute force discuss कर लेते हैं. Then we'll see कि why were you not able to solve it. So the brute force is like go to every pair and try to find the difference. If difference is k, you have the result and add it to the result. As simple as that. For every I, go to I plus 1 to n and try to figure out the difference. If the difference is there, then we are good. Otherwise, we don't have we just move on. That's it. So okay, what is the time complexity of this brute force solution? Sorry, yes, here. What is the time complexity of this solution, guys? Is there a lag or that's correct, Adish. Smile, what does NN mean? Does it mean n power to n power n, or what does n mean? 2n, what is it? That's correct. So it is n square or n into n. I think Smile also meant that n into n. So yes, the answer of this is like the time complexity of the brute force solution is n squared. Okay, moving on. So what does it remind you? Like, so the reason I asked like the people who are already there from the day one too is like we have already solved these questions or similar questions so many times that nobody should have a problem who is following from the day one at least. So do you think like this is similar to two sum or two difference? And here the target is like constant k. Do you think, guys? Yes, no? Quick yes, no? Yes. So it is equal to, it is all like actually that. The only difference is, if you see the question says you have to find the unique K pair. That is the only difference. And what you can do is you can use a set or something for that. That's all you need to worry about. All you have to do is use two sum. And if you are watching it for the first time, or you skipped few 5 4 5 days, you can go back to day one video and you can look at the two sum. That was literally the very first question of this entire series. This was, two sum was literally the first question of 75 days question thing challenge. So if you have not solved that, go and solve it, because it is very important question and it get used in so many places. And I don't know how to emphasize more. So all we need to do is just same as two sum. Here the only difference is like we have to take care of, we just need to add it once, that's it. If it is already there, don't add it. If it is not, just increase the result. And since we need to do is like find the pair, that's all. So what you need to do is, first of all, calculate, like add the number like we were doing two sum. The only difference is, since you have to find unique here, in two sum we were doing it online. By online I mean as and when we iterate, we were doing it. Here we do map part first, the indexing part first, and second, we only add for all the elements which has greater than one, which has count greater than one, we add once, that's it. That's the only difference. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear, this solution? If there is any doubt, I can go into details, but if it is clear, we can go and move on to the next part. And what is the time complexity of the solution? अरे यार, इसमें तो मैंने already लिखा हुआ है. Time complexity is already mentioned, so if you just forget that and calculate it yourself. What is the time complexity of the solution? N dot n. What does it mean, Smile? If you still answer it incorrectly, तो इसका मतलब तो क्लियर यही है कि आप स्क्रीन देख ही नहीं रहे हो. मतलब यू आर नॉट पेइंग अटेंशन. इफ यू स्टिल आंसर इट incorrect, there is no way you are engaged in the session. So I don't know what to say for you. Like, I feel really, I can say I feel sorry for you, because it's definitely your loss. You're wasting your time joining here and not even looking at the screen. So let's write Pratik, Akash, and yeah, Pratik definitely good hey hey, because it is mentioned in the screen. So Ritu, that's correct. So for those who were not able to answer it, look at the very first line of the code or the comment. It is an O n time solution. So the time complexity of the solution is O of n. So yeah, and I don't have the fourth question. As I said, like there are few, one or two questions in random days where I've added them out of order, like, or they are part of arrays, but they should have been covered in arrays later on in the series, once we have done basics of other concepts as well. So for that, what I will do is I will start doing, I will start basically over the weekend, which is Saturday, Sunday, upcoming Saturday, Sunday, I will go through the question one more time, and I will basically try to answer it or reorder it. So that's about it for the last. Again, like since we finished quickly, I can take few questions. We'll start with few. So Sakshi, I think Sakshi ही नाम था. Yes, Sakshi. So DP करा दीजिए. Sakshi, if you look at the sheet present in the description as well, if you look at the sheet, basically we are going to go through DP. DP is a very, very, very important concept. I know that, and we are going to go through that. If you are in hurry because of some interview or something, any reason, You can go and check out in DP questions. You can start solving them in the order. But if you are not in hurry, I will suggest like follow the series and get better with everyone. Then there was one more question from Apurva. Can I follow Babbar's Earth sheet after 75 days of coding? You can. You cannot. It's up to you. It's up to you. I don't think you will need to follow someone else's sheet right now. At least after 75 days of question, because there will be a very high overlap. I can guarantee like he's not going to produce his own content, or he's not going to produce new question. There are limited set of common questions no matter who you follow. It can be this series, it can be someone else, like I'm not going to even name. So there can be like there are so many people sharing the sheet. You can follow any sheet, that's not a problem. But if you, whoever you follow, do it from the start till the end and focus on the learning. That is the most important part. Don't follow anyone blindly. Focus on the learning part. Focus on what you have been doing and track your progress. That's important. That's all you need to do. So there are very limited set of questions. Some may have 400 questions, some may have 300 questions, some may have 100 questions, some may have 250. It does not matter. There are limited set of questions. All it matters is like how are you doing that? How are you investing your time? That is all is important. And if you invest, if you focus on your learning, making your concepts and basics first, that's all you need. So there is nothing else, like it's up to you is what I will say. But you will not need it is what my guess is. But it's up to you. Any other question, guys? Yes, as Akash mentioned, like just be consistent, make a habit. That is the only way that you can succeed in literally any part of your career, life, anything. Doesn't matter what, be it relationship, be it education, academic, sports, anything. Be consistent and be persistent. That's all you need. Okay. I feel that am not able to apply some base cases. What should be the right way to do revision for problems? So revision wise, I think and same question was is asked by Muthu as well, because remembering edge cases are difficult during revision. Okay, so first of all, there should not be a use case, or like there should not be a use of remembering stuff. You should understand stuff. There are things that you should remember. Obviously there are basic things, like you don't have to understand 2 plus 2 is equals to 4, you know that. But on top of that, you what you need to do is like try to understand why 2 plus 2 is 4. And so in every question we try to discuss observations, and those observations are important. And on the basis of observation you get to edge cases, you get to all the base cases, edge cases, normal cases. All the type of cases are based on the basis of observation only. So there is very good thing shared in the community. I think it was shared by Akash only. And then on top of that, Surbi added some points. So what they do is they make a sheet. Like we already have a sheet, make a copy of that, or make your own sheet. Copy paste the question, write the description of the question, a very small description. Don't copy paste. Write it in your own word. Write what did you do in that question. Then the time taken, and this is things that I would want you to add. Time taken to solve that question, and number of attempts to solve that question. Then fourth thing is add topics. I suggest you add topics because it becomes very easy when you revise. So it becomes very easy to sort them by topic, difficulty, and all. So add topic and difficulty, and that's it. And if you have to revisit, mark that and keep doing that. So now when you have to, let's say after 75 days you have to revise again. So what you can do is just look at that sheet and within 3 to 4 days you will be able to revise almost all the questions, and you will know कि हाँ यार ये question मुझसे हो गया था, ये question मुझसे हिला ही नहीं था, ये question में hint लिया था इस तरह से, like make those points and try to repeat that process. That's all you need to do. So yeah, sir, I am a second year. I am in second year. I don't have computer fundamentals. Like, very good question. Question, Apurva. So I will always say, no matter what you're doing, be it competitive programming, be it DSA related stuff, be it development, be it Android, web, AI, no matter what you're doing, if you are slightly interested in computer sciences, learn the computer science fundamental. It is not an optional thing. It is a mandatory, it's a very must have thing. So learn the computer science fundamentals. There is no trade off for computer science fundamentals. If you need content, it is present in the description. I hope I'll, if it is not, I'll definitely add it. Just give me a second. Let me just confirm if it is present or not. Yes, it is present in the description below as well. There is a GitHub repository that I maintain. You can check that out. It is present. It has literally all the required content in the order that you need to follow. So computer science fundamentals, don't underestimate that. Focus on that. Learn good things about learn it in details, and especially the things that you have mentioned: DBMS, OOPS, OS, bit of computer network, bit of a architectural part. Not, you don't have to go very deep into that, and a bit of compiler design. So that's all you need. How many times should I give to? That depends on you. So I'll give you one example of what how I prepared. So what I used to do is, first of all, this is something that I always say: you do not get better at in life in anything by motivation. You need to build a habit out of it. Motivation is always overrated. It is important to get started, but it's not going to take you anywhere. It may take you from 0 to point 1, but to reach 100 you need consistency, you need habit. So build a habit. It now the time, that depends. If you are able to effectively do things, you should be able to do good number of questions in 2 to 3 hours. I generally say, like, if you are able to solve question in 30 minutes, that is something good. So 30-35 minutes is what it takes. So solve at least 4 to 5 question every single day, and in a month that will be 150 question. In 3 months that will be 450 questions, and that's when you will realize, huh, I have reached a good level. So this is something very important. So it does not matter how much time are you giving. Try to solve on a number basis. Try to have an outcome basis, instead of input basis. Like, look at the output instead of input. कि मुझे 100 क्वेश्चन करने हैं, या मुझे 10 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं, 100 क्वेश्चंस या 200 क्वेश्चन या 500 क्वेश्चंस. It does not matter how much time it will take, but I will invest that time. So that's all I will suggest. Like, nobody in real world, nobody will care about how much time did you give it. It matters, like, what is the outcome of it. That's always the case. Like, think about it. Like, 12th class ke marks, nobody cares like how much did you study. Doesn't matter if you did anything or not. Your marks matters, the outcome matters. I'm giving example of academic things because that is something that we all can relate. It does not matter how much practice did Neeraj Chopra did. What matters is, like, he got the medal. That's what is important. There are a lot of people who have done much more amount of, he might have done equal or maybe more hard work than him, but he got the medal, and he is the famous personality, or he is the one who got something for us. So that's what it is. Like, focus on outcome instead of or output instead of input. How much time should I give to, again, same question, can you please share your views on RPA? What is RPA? What on RPA should I learn? I don't know what RPA means. Should I learn concept then do question? I have not done started it yet. Yes. So focus on basics first. Focus on theoretical part first, and that's when you get better at everything. You can build your concepts on the go. It doesn't have to be like सारा एक साथ करा फिर मैंने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया. You don't have to do that. That becomes very boring. I know that. So first focus on like learn 2 3 concepts, question. Learn 2 3 concepts, questions. That's all you need to do. What topics? Yeah, my personal advice will be don't look at computer science fundamentals as don't look computer science fundamentals only from the perspective of interviews. You need that in your day-to-day job. You will actually remember me in your day-to-day job if you actually do this. If you focus on your computer science fundamentals, you will need that every single day of your life. If you don't, like, you will not realize it when you already know it. But if you don't know it, that's when you will realize कि यार ये भी नहीं पता. And it will have a very major impact on your day-to-day life, or your job, your performance, your efficiency, your productivity, everything. If you know the basics, you'll be in much better state. So my advice is don't look at computer fundamentals for just for interview perspective. But for that, there's the like in the sheet it covers almost all the major topics, so just focus on those questions, concepts. It goes into details as well, so it's up to you if you want to go into details or just want to keep it shallow. Okay, I have no idea. Again, Ahsan, you asked RPA means robotic process automation. Yeah, see, it does not matter what you focus on. If you focus on web development, if you focus on robotics, if you focus on AI, machine learning, blockchain, there are thousands of things that you can learn. It matters is like, what I will suggest is don't sit into like, or don't place your feet into multiple boats. Try to be into like DSA वगैरह तो करना ही है. There is no you can say alternative, is what I understand from the industry perspective. Unless and until you want to build your own startup, then you don't need it. Or you want to leave go in a startup, then most probably you won't need very detailed DSA. But if you want to go into top tech companies, DSA will be required. Then when it comes to development, it does not mean you don't have to do development. You have to work on that as well. When it comes to development, just focus on one or two be job when you want to explore ki हाँ, I want to learn. What do I want to learn? Where does my interest lie? So that's all I would say. Just focus on one or two. Doesn't matter what it is. Focus on that and try to learn it. Now robotics and all, like, they are very interesting, but they're very specific. So if you want to pursue your career in robotics, then do that. If you don't want to do that, I will suggest like go to web development or something. Akash, it does matter sometimes, but it does not matter in a lot of places as well. In fact, I actually have done one live session before this entire 75 days thing came into existence. We did it with Santosh. Like, he's an MCA, and we tried to see like how alternative career can lead. Like, you how can you reach FANG or FANG level company from non BTech background. Although MCA is also very similar, but I don't think that should be a very big problem. It may be a problem in getting started. In initial days, it can be a bit of a problem, because a lot of company will say, "यार BTech नहीं है, नहीं resume is not shortlisted." So what I will suggest is, if you have to start small, like start with startups, internships, and all, but grow there. That's what I'll say. Like, grow your skills as and when you grow your skills and improve your experience, education will it will start making the least impact. As in when you have more and more experience, the experience will matter more. So this is what I will suggest. Can you cover network fundamental from perspective of system design in session? Uh, I will. I don't have time right now to do anything beyond 75 days of challenge. It takes at least 3.5 hours of a day. So it is not possible for me to start literally anything as of now. But as soon as we end this 75 days, I will start something from for system design or some good series. So yeah. Should I learn React? Again, same thing. It does not matter what you want to learn. If even if web you want to learn Angular, JS, or simple jQuery JS of like, I will suggest don't do go to like technologies used in 2010 and 12. Obviously, go for a better newer technology, Angular, React. I don't even know a lot of good front end frameworks. I've never been into front end, so yeah. So it's up to you. React is a good tech, but it's up to you. If you want to learn it, learn it. But if you already know something else and you just want to learn for the sake of it, don't do it. Uh, if you want to learn, just go into depth of it. That's what I will say. So I'm in class 12. What should I when should I start coding seriously, like on the daily basis? What language should I start with? Okay, so Risha, first of all, I will say good job that you are starting already, that you are aware of doing all these things in class 12. I personally had no idea till third year. Matlab, I failed in so many interviews for internships that I had no idea about any of these stuff till third year. So it's I am very happy that you are at least aware of things like these. Now, when do you start seriously? Now. The answer is now. As soon as you start seriously, the earlier you start, the better you become. So the answer is never tomorrow. That is what I will say. Like, start today, start now. That's what I will say. And what language? Language does not matter. If you are working in Java, I will say, like, I personally feel there is no better language than Java. I personally feel after 8 years of doing things in so many languages, I've done Golang, .NET, then Java, then Python, a bit of Python, C++. There is I don't find anything better than Java. So you don't have to go beyond Java as well. So if you are watching this, is still watching, like, start today, do it every day. Doesn't matter which language you pick. That's it. Okay. Sir, please share the link to your solution job. Okay, definitely. I will do that in our community, Apurva. So about time. Uh, so we are already like almost 1 hour in the session, 1 hour into this live session. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any doubt, I think it's good. Like, we can, uh, given this entire presentation thing and this entire like making presentation and all has made it very time efficient. We can definitely have a Q&A at the end of sessions. So again, thank you so much for watching it till the end. If you're still here, if you dropped off, that's okay. But if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching it. Do subscribe to the channel and share the videos with your friend so that they can also be aware of this challenge, these things, so that they can also learn with all of us. So thank you, guys. And any other question, we'll take it in the Discord channel. If you're not part of it, do join the Discord channel. So bye bye.